Hey, what is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video of my sports, Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over the NBA games for Thursday, May 27, 2021. I'm going to show you both sides of each game, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And if for some reason you're curious to know who I'm picking in these games, you'll have to join my Patreon where my picks are always in writing, underlined, and italicized. For more information on that, please read the description of this video. I wish you guys the best luck in your picks today. Now let's go ahead and get into the games. We have Game 3 for the Bucks and the Heat. We have Game 3 for the Suns and the Lakers. And we have Game 3 for the Nuggets and Blazers. So on this side, I have what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian calendar, Hebrew calendar. This side is what I call my game numbers. These are numbers for the game. So how it's structured up top here is the away team, the Bucks, their coach record, his postseason record, their season record, their postseason record. In the middle here is the head-to-head record between the two teams, their postseason head-to-head and their head-to-head for the year. And at the bottom here is the home team, their season record, their home record, their postseason record, and their coach record. Up top here is some added notes. This is the 17th game for the NBA playoffs. Game 3 for the Bucks, leading the series 2-0. Are they going to go 3-0 or are they going to fall 2-1? Is the Heat going to pick up a win here? That's what we're going to look at. So, interesting game here. 75th day of the Hebrew religious. This is the 75th NBA season. It's the Bucks' 75th game for the season. It's the Heat's 75th game for the season. Where shall we start? Let's say if you want to take the Heat in Game 3 to have Bucks drop 2-1, or for the Heat side, they'd become 1-2 head-to-head against the Bucks in the series. If you want to take the Heat, there is a 12 and a 21 here. This is the 12th postseason head-to-head matchup between these two teams all time, which can contribute to Heat becoming 1-2 head-to-head against the Bucks for the series. Also, on the Gregorian 37 date numerology, the 12th prime number, as well as 73 date numerology, the 21st prime number. So if Heat win this game, 2-1, 1-2, those are the numbers that you'd be looking at, the 37, the 73, 12th postseason head-to-head. It's also the Heat's 37th home game, Bucks 37th away game, the 12th prime number. So there's plenty of 12 and 21 connections here for the Heat to become 2-1 or 1-2 head-to-head against the Bucks with the win. Also on the Hebrew Civil, 16th day of the 9th month, 169 mathematically has a square root of 13. And mathematically speaking, the number 41 is the 13th prime number, and the Heat could get their 41st win for this season. Bucks would get their 27th loss for the season. It is the 27th of May. And yeah, that's what we'd be looking at for the Heat. You know, there's plenty of 12s and 21s there for the Heat to get that win. Also, it being the 17th game of the playoffs, the Bucks can get their 17th road loss. 17 sums to 37, the 12th prime number, 37th away game, 37th home game, 37 date numerology on the Gregorian. It's all there for the Heat to get that win. But let's look at the Bucks now, see what it would take for the Bucks to get the win. So we go back to the 75th day on the Hebrew, 75th game, 75th game. Hebrew Religious has a 40 date numerology on it. And the Heat could sit on 40 wins for the season in their 75th game on the 75th day with 40 date numerology. It's a possibility. That's the Heat's coach 1,173rd all-time game for his career. What's interesting about this number is, even though it's 1173, I know that if we drop a 1 and just do 173, we'll get 40th prime number. And so that can contribute to Heat sitting on 40 wins with the loss Speaking of the 21s and 12 connections, going back to the 73, the 21st prime number, the Bucks could get their 21st road win, and it would keep the Heat on 21 home wins with a loss. Today does have 53 date numerology on the Gregorian as well, the 16th prime number, and Heat could become 21-16 at home for a record. And then Bucks would become 21-16 on the road with a record. 53 the 16th prime, 21 the 21st prime. Today does have 37 date numerology on the Gregorian. 37 sums to 57. This is the Bucks' 269th postseason game, the 57th prime, and the Heat coach can get his 57th postseason loss for his career. He would get his 481st all-time loss for his career, and the number 53 sums to 148. 148, 481 are just anagrams of each other. And then we have this 35 pattern here. Heat can get their 35th loss. Coach can get his 35th postseason win. The reason why I have that marked up is Bucks would get their 51st all-time head-to-head win against the Heat, as they become 5-1 head-to-head against the Heat for this season. And 51 sums to 35. And the number 30 sums to 35 and 37, today with 37 date numerology on the Gregorian. And Bucks could up the series 3-0 like 30 as they become 5-1 head-to-head, get their 51st all-time head-to-head, as Heat get their 35th loss. Bucks coach gets his 35th postseason win. And the last thing that would be favored for Bucks would be the 110. Heat could get their 110th postseason loss as a team. 110 sums to 147, and it also sums to 60. Today, the 147th day on the Gregorian, 37 date numerology, 37 sums to 60. All right, so let's move on to the Suns and the Lakers. Game 3 for the series. It's a tied 1-1. Game 2 was a pivotal game for the Suns. I made an alternative narrative for them to up the series 3-0 heading into Sunday. And the only way they would have done it is if they would have won Game 2, obviously. And the theory that I gave was, Game 3, which is this game, 53, 73 date numerology, 73 the 21st prime. If Suns would have won Game 2, they would be 53-21, or 53-21 heading into this game, which would set them up to potentially get their 54th win, the 251st day on the Hebrew Civil, the 54th prime number. That did not happen. So basically at this point, I think it's a wrap for the Suns. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. They didn't want to take it. Now we're going to look to the Lakers. I don't think the Suns are going to win another game in Los Angeles. And I say that because, again, the 251 is the 51st prime number. It was meant for the Suns to get their 51st win only if they won Game 2, but they didn't. Therefore, we got to fade them and give Lakers their 54th win for the season. So if Lakers win this game, they get their 54th on the 251st day. 251, the 54th prime, 45, 54 are just reflections of each other. 45 sums to 54. And this is actually going to set the Lakers up to win Game 4 as well, which is played on Sunday. Sunday is the 19th day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil. 199, the 46th prime number. They get their 45th win in Game 3, sets them up to get their 46th win in Game 4. When I did the Suns alternative narrative, Sunday Game 4 was supposed to be when Lakers get their first and only win for the series. They would get their 44th win for the season in Game 4 on the 19th day of the 3rd month, 193, the 44th prime. But instead, they're set up to get their 46th win for the season on the 19th day of the 9th month, the 46th prime number. And the thing about the Suns is if they lose Game 3, they would go into Game 4 sitting on 143 postseason losses. And then one more loss, which would be in Game 4, they would get their 144th. 19th day of the third month, the 44th prime. Instead of the Lakers getting their 44th win, Suns would get their 144th postseason loss. So the Suns are pretty much done, at least at the very least in LA. I don't know about Game 5 just yet because I don't know what day it's going to be played on. I don't know if it's on the 31st or if it's on the 61st or 6/1 of the 1st. Either way, it's not a good sign for the Suns just because the 31st has 41 date numerology. Lakers can close out the series 4-1 by doing a gentleman's sweep. Or on the 6/1, 61 sums to 41. And I'm going to show you guys Gamecast. So this is why I don't know what day it's on. Gamecast right here. Lakers game, Game 3, 5:27. Game 4, 5:30. Game 5, 5:31. Game 6, 6:2. Game 7, 6:4. But when you click on Game 5, 5:31, up top here it says 6/1. So we'll just see once Game 5 comes. We'll see which day it's played on after Game 4. It's probably going to be 6/1, just to have that day gap in there instead of a back-to-back. But so let's look more at the numbers. Yeah, so I think Suns are done. They're a wrap. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Didn't work out. Didn't work out. So continuing on for Game 3, some other numbers. Lakers get their 45th win. 251. 251st day, the 54th prime. It's the 16th day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil, 169. It has a square root of 13. Suns would get their 13th road loss and their coach's 13th postseason game. Suns coach, he would become 3-10 for a postseason record with the loss in Game 3, sitting on 3 wins in Game 3, 3-3, as Lakers become 3-3 head-to-head against the Suns for the season with the win. But 310 is not a main area code, but it is an area code in the Los Angeles County. So Suns coach would become 310 postseason in Los Angeles in Game 3, sitting on 3 wins as they become 3-3 head-to-head against the Suns in Game 3. Emphasis on 3-3-3. But 16th day of the third month on the Hebrew Religious, like 163. The 75th day of the Hebrew Religious, the Suns' 75th game. They're going to get their 23rd loss for the season. 23 sums to 163. It also sums to 53 date numerology on the Gregorian. You know, instead of the Suns getting their 53rd win for the season, which they still could, I doubt it, but they still could, the 23 also sums to 53 as well as 163. And then it also sums to 134. And as the Suns get their 23rd loss, they would sit on that 134 or 134 postseason wins as the Lakers sit on 134 head-to-head losses all time. Lakers would get their 23rd home win for the season. 23 sums to 163, the 38th prime number, and their 38th home game. And yeah, so I think it's a wrap for the Suns. I know I'm supposed to be objective about this and give you both sides, but I tried to be objective for the Suns in Game 2, and they blew their chances with me. Also, this is going to be the 18th playoff game. 18th playoff game. 18 sums to 143. Lakers coach, this is his 823rd all-time game for his career. 823 sums to 143. And the Suns would get their 143rd postseason loss, setting him up to get that 144 on Sunday, the 13th, what is it? There you go, 19th day, 19th day of the third month on the Hebrew Religious, the 44th prime. 44 sums to 144. And then Lakers would get their 46th win for the season, the 19th day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil, the 46th prime number. All right, so Nuggets and the Trailblazers. So this game, they come in tied 1-1. So somebody's going to become 2-1 or 1-2. Perfect day to do it. 37 date numerology, 73 date numerology, 37 the 12th prime, 73 the 21st prime. If we're going to look at, let's look at the away team first, the Nuggets. This is the Nuggets' 75th game for the season. It's the Blazers' 75th game for the season. It's the 75th day on the Hebrew religious. The Nuggets, they can get their 97th all-time head-to-head win against the Blazers as the Nuggets get their 79th postseason win. Why that's interesting is because 75, 79, and 90, if I can spell it correctly, 97, they all sum the same thing in all four base ciphers, which is also 53 today with 53 date numerology on the Gregorian. So they all sum to the same thing in all four base ciphers. 75th day, both these teams, 75th game. Nuggets could get their 97th all-time head-to-head win as they get their 79th. They all sum to the same thing in all four base ciphers. Nuggets would get their 23rd away win to go with, and we already talked about the number 23 with the Lakers and the Suns. 23 sums to 163, 16th day of the third month on the Hebrew. A day, the 75th day on the Hebrew religious year. But that also goes in favor for the Blazers. Blazers coach, he can get his 23rd postseason win. So keep that in mind. And then also with all four of these numbers identical, they all sum to 152 as well. So on the 75th day, technically Blazers could sit on 152 postseason losses with the win instead of this 97, 79 biz. But that would be the favorite for Nuggets, would be those numbers, the 23, the 79, the 97. Blazers would get their 17th home loss. 17 sums to 37. And then Blazers would sit on 110 all-time head-to-head win against the Nuggets with a loss. And 110 is a number we already talked about in another game. Heat potentially getting their 110th postseason loss, because 110 sums to 147 and 60. Today, the 147th day on the Gregorian, 37 date numerology, 37 sums to 60. For the Trailblazers, though, if Trailblazers were to win, Nuggets could just go ahead and get their 27th loss for the season on the 27th of May. Blazers coach, he would get his 540th all-time win, which kind of looks like a 54, it being the 251st day on the Hebrew Civil, the 54th prime number. Going with 73 date numerology, the 21st prime, the Blazers can get their 21st home win as they up the series 2-1 head-to-head against the Nuggets for the playoffs. And then Blazers coach, he would sit on 527 losses all time with the win, it being May 27th, written 5/27. And then Blazers would get their 119th postseason win as they become 11-9 head-to-head against the Nuggets postseason. And for the Nuggets side, they would become 9-11. 9-11. 9-11 is the 156th prime number. And this is Nuggets coach 615th all-time game, which is just an anagram of 156. 615. And then the Blazers would become 3-3 head-to-head against the Nuggets for the year with the win, and 33 sums to 156. And we know Nuggets sums to 33. So that would be both sides of that game. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully these pick preview videos help you guys in your decision. At the very least, it's a great jumping off point for you to add more information on top of if you really wanted to. And I wish you guys the best of luck in your picks. Hopefully you win every single game. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.